Ever looked at a realistic doll, a wax figure, or a CGI character and felt a shiver run down your spine? That feeling of deep, unsettling wrongness has a name: the uncanny valley. It's a fascinating psychological concept, first described in 1970 by roboticist Masahiro Mori. He noticed something strange. As we make robots and animations more and more human-like, our empathy for them increases. We like them more, but only up to a point. When an object gets about 80 or 90% human-like, something flips. Suddenly, instead of empathy, we feel intense revulsion, eeriness, and fear. That sudden, deep plunge into discomfort is the uncanny valley. Things that live in this valley are disturbingly familiar, but just off. Think of zombies, overly realistic mannequins, or even corpses. Our brain recognizes them as almost human, but the small imperfections scream that something is terribly wrong. So, why do we have this reaction? Why is something that's almost human so much scarier than something that's obviously fake? There are many theories, but one of the most chilling, popular on the internet, and a staple of modern horror, is the ancient predator hypothesis. This theory suggests that the uncanny valley isn't just a psychological quirk. It's a deeply ingrained evolutionary survival instinct. Think about it. Humans evolve specific fears to stay alive. We're scared of heights because falling is deadly. We have an instinctual fear of snakes because many are venomous. So, if we have a primal, biological fear of things that look almost human, what does that imply? It implies that at some point in our deep ancestral past, humanity was hunted by a predator that looked almost exactly like us. This concept is known as aggressive mimicry. It's a common strategy in nature. A praying mantis looks like a flower to lure in bees. A stick insect looks like a twig to hide from birds. The ancient predator theory proposes there was once a creature that evolved to mimic the most dangerous animal on the planet, us. It would have looked like a human, walked like a human, and maybe even made sounds like a human, all to get close to its prey. Our revulsion, that uncanny feeling, is the last remnant of an ancient alarm system. Our subconscious brain detects the subtle flaws in the disguise, the slightly unnatural movements, the odd texture of the skin, the deadness in the eyes, and screams a single, vital message that is not one of us. Run. It's the biological equivalent of an air raid siren, warning of an imposter in our midst. But if this predator existed, what was it? This is where the theory splits into two paths: the horrifying and the scientific. The horror version, which fuels countless stories and movies, imagines an intelligent, non-human species, a creature smart enough to understand our social structures and use our appearance as camouflage. Legends from around the world might be echoes of this threat. Skinwalkers, changelings, doppelgangers, all tales of monsters that wear a human face. This idea is terrifying because it suggests we might have shared the world with a wolf in sheep-esque clothing that saw us as nothing more than cattle. It makes you wonder, did we hunt it to extinction, or is it just better at hiding now? However, scientists and anthropologists offer more grounded, and frankly, just as unsettling, explanations for our uncanny fear. The predator might not have been a separate species at all. One leading idea points to rival hominids. For thousands of years, our ancestors, Homo sapiens, lived alongside other human species like Neanderthals and Denisovans. They were incredibly similar to us, but not identical. They would have moved differently, had slightly different facial structures, and behaved in ways that were just off. The uncanny feeling could have been a social instinct, telling our ancestors, "This is not your tribe," warning against interbreeding or signaling a territorial threat from a competing group of intelligent tool-using humanoids. Imagine encountering a group of beings who look like a distorted reflection of yourself, competing for the same resources. The unease would be profound. The most widely accepted scientific explanation, however, is the pathology avoidance theory. This idea suggests that the ancient predator wasn't another species, but disease itself. A sick or dying human fits the uncanny valley description perfectly. Their skin color might be wrong, their movements jerky and uncoordinated, their eyes glazed over. Think about diseases like leprosy, which visibly deforms the body, or even a simple corpse. The revulsion we feel is an instinct to keep our distance, a biological imperative to avoid contamination and infection. Our brains are hardwired to see these signs of sickness as a major threat, triggering a powerful stay-away signal. So, the creepy feeling you get from a zombie in a movie, it might be the same instinct that kept your ancestors from catching a deadly plague from a sick tribe member thousands of years ago. Let's take that one step further and focus on a specific disease, rabies. A human infected with rabies enters a state that is the stuff of nightmares. They become aggressive, they foam at the mouth, they lose control of their movements, and they are driven to bite. A rabid person is the literal definition of an almost human threat. They look like a person, but they are no longer in control, transformed into a vector for a deadly virus. The uncanny valley could be a hyper-specific evolutionary response designed to recognize the telltale signs of rabies from a safe distance. The jerky movements, the vacant stare, the unnatural aggression. Our brain screams danger because, for millennia, a bite from someone acting that way meant a certain, agonizing death. The zombie apocalypse trope isn't just fiction. It's a cultural magnification of a very real, very ancient biological threat. So, where does this leave us? The uncanny valley is more than just a weird feeling. It's a window into our own evolutionary history. Whether it's a defense mechanism against a monstrous mimic, a social signal to distinguish us from rival human species, or a biological quarantine to protect us from disease, the root is the same: survival. Our brains have a built-in human or not detector, and it's extremely sensitive. This is why the concept is so powerful in horror. Movies like The Thing, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and It Follows prey on this exact fear. They present a monster that can be anyone: your friend, your neighbor, your loved one. The horror isn't just about the monster itself, but the paranoia it creates. You can't trust your own eyes. The people around you might not be people at all. The uncanny valley suggests this paranoia isn't just a story. It's a memory, written into our DNA. The next time a lifelike robot or a CGI character gives you the creeps, remember, you might be feeling the echo of an ancient scream, a warning passed down through countless generations to help you survive a world where the most dangerous monsters wore a human face. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this dive into the uncanny as fascinating as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the strange and mysterious corners of our world. See you next time.